Good afternoon, Ms. Simen, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of National Development and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Tang Tak Wing, Assistant Chief Executive Officer of Parks Management and Lifestyle Cluster from National Parks Board, Professor Leo Tan, Chairman of Garden City Fund, Ms. Christine AMOUR-LEVAR, Vice Chair of Zero Waste Singapore, Great Eastern's management team, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen watching this virtually. My name is Natalie and I'm your MC for this afternoon. Thank you for being here at today's hybrid event, Sustainability for Life, to mark Great Eastern's commitment towards protecting our environment for future generations to come. Today, we mark our combined effort as a company to reduce our carbon footprint, adding to Singapore's greenery, and celebrate our support for two meaningful causes. We also commemorate Great Eastern's 113th anniversary and the 10th anniversary of Great Eastern Financial Advisors, with a combined donation of $448,000 to two charities. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. KHOR Singh, our Group Chief Executive Officer, to give his welcome address. Mr. KHOR, please.
See if I can take up. Anyway, first, a very good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to our Senior Minister, Ms. Sim Ann, and also to Mr. Tang Tak Wing, the Assistant CEO of Parks Management, and also Professor Leo Tan, Chairman of Garden City Fund, and Ms. Christine AMOUR-LEVAR, Vice Chair of Zero Waste Singapore. Fellow colleagues, and a very warm welcome. I think today is actually a very special event, a special day for, I think, Great Eastern and all of us. I think, as you know, sustainability is a key topic these days. Every day goes by, it doesn't go by without somebody mentioning about sustainability. And in fact, as we manage risks, and for us, as you know, in general insurance, one of the key risks is weather. In fact, I always joke with my colleagues who are in the general insurance. I said, for you, what you need is to pray every day for good weather. Because whether they make profit or they lose is always because if they make profit, good year means weather was kind. Bad year means weather was not so kind. So I think that's very important. Anyway, first again, so as mentioned just now by the MC, this year, Great Eastern celebrates a very important milestone. We are now 113 years old. And at the same time, we are also celebrating 10 years of our Great Eastern Financial Advisors. And I think one of the key things why we are 113 years and still doing well as the #1 company in Singapore and also in Malaysia is that we always put our customers first. I think that's very key. And it's also our duty to serve our community where we operate, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. So as a leading regional insurer, we are acutely aware that the choice we make today has a big impact to our future generations. That's why we have 3 core pillars to guide us in our sustainability journey. So we are committed to doing our part to reduce our carbon footprint for the environment and improving the people's lives on the social front. Today's effort is just one of the several initiatives that Great Eastern is driving. To celebrate Great Eastern's financial advisories, like I say just now, 10 years, and our Great Eastern's 113 years anniversary, we plan to plant 1,429 trees all over Singapore over the next 2 months, starting with Great Eastern Centre today, and later at East Coast Park and along the rail corridor next year. All this has been made possible through our donation of 329,000 to NParks, 1 million tree movement via the Garden City Fund. On behalf of the company, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our staff and financial reps for their generous contribution to this fundraising effort. Sowing the seeds of green consciousness, socially responsible attitudes, and building financial literacy or environmental awareness best starts from young. We are pleased to be donating 120,000 to Zero Waste Singapore to build environmental education and advocacy among our youth. This will help kickstart efforts to improve our zero waste habits and green literacy among secondary school students in Singapore through a series of learning workshops and eventually a competition as part of Zero Waste SG Sustainable Schools Program for 2022. In the coming year, we hope to do more for our environment. As the Chinese proverb goes, we plant the trees today for our future generation to enjoy the shade. This is what Great Eastern does as a life company. That is to help customers live life-proof. And on behalf of Great Eastern, I'd like to especially thank Ms. Sim Ann, the Senior Minister of State for the Ministry of National Development and Foreign Affairs, and our special guests from NParks and Zero Waste National and Garden Fund, and to all my colleagues, friends, and very importantly, together with our sales reps as well. A very good thank you, and like to thank you for joining us today. As we take, I would say, baby steps in this journey. This journey of sustainability is going to be an effort for all of us, and not just one. I mean, one of us can, all of us must play this effort. As you could see, the changes in our environment and so on. So hopefully, together, we can create a better future for our generation to come. With that, thank you very much. And again, our appreciation for your participation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. KHOR. Next, we have Professor Liu Tan, Chairman of the Garden City Fund, who is an academic, scientist, and avid supporter of all things nature. In 2017, Professor Tan was recognized as an ASEAN Biodiversity Hero for his outstanding contributions to biodiversity conservation and advocacy efforts in Singapore. The Garden City Fund is a registered charity set up by the National Parks Board and complements its efforts towards fulfilling the City in Nature vision through bringing together partners, including corporations, to complement the government and community efforts to co-create a city in a garden that is rich in biodiversity. Professor Liu Tan, please.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sim, Senior Minister of State for National Development and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Tang Tak Wing, Assistant CEO of NParks, Ms. Christine AMOUR-LEVAR, Vice Chair of the Zero Waste Singapore, Mr. Koh Hock Seng, Group CEO, Great Eastern, Mr. Patrick Peck, Managing Director, Regional Agency, Financial Advisors and Bancassurance, Ms. Jesslyn Tan, CEO, Great Eastern Financial Advisors, friends from Great Eastern, good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here today. And as Mr. KHOR started, I just began to think, you're always great for life. We start by supporting the very young through the secondary school students in the Sustainable Schools program. And that's like planting seeds for the future. And we at NParks, we plant the actual plants that, as you say, will grow and provide shade for the future generations. So you have always lived up to your logo of sustainability for life now. Thank you. Thank you, Great Eastern, for inviting the Garden City Fund to be part of your 113th anniversary in Singapore, and also the 10th anniversary of your financial advisory arm, Great Eastern Financial Advisors. It is wonderful that you are celebrating this milestone by embarking on a journey to help our natural heritage and leave a lasting legacy. May I take off my mask? Sorry. Thank you. I'm heartened to hear that you have involved your staff, financial advisors, and community to collectively raise over 300,000 to benefit our city in nature. This will allow more than 1,400 trees, as you have mentioned, to be planted under the National Parks Board's 1 Million Trees movement. And I'm happy to hear that we won't just be planting here around your center today, but you'll be moving out to the rail corridor, East Coast Park, and across Singapore to make sure that we green our country. Your support is very much in line with Singapore's Green Plan 2030 for a more sustainable future. These trees will be planted in our nature reserves, gardens, parks, and along our streetscape, as we will do today. With increasing concerns about the impact of climate change on the nation, these trees will help to reduce our land surface temperatures and the urban heat island impact, increasing Singapore's climate resilience. The trees contributed will support Singapore's vision to become a city in nature by further integrating nature into our urban environment and intensifying our greening efforts. These trees will also intensify our green recreational spaces, enhance habitats for our native wildlife, and boost ecological connectivity for the future of in our city. And the 2 trees that we'll be planting later, the first one, Cretoxylum cochinensis, Nancy, and Triteniopsis obovata. One is the red mumpat, and the other one is the C. tristania. They are native to Singapore and will mature to form multi-tiered tree layer that mimics the natural structure of our natural forests. The trees planted will support our species recovery efforts for some of our native tree species that are endangered or critically endangered. You and your future generations to come will be able to enjoy these trees daily right at the doorstep of your office here in the heart of the city. Once again, I thank you all for your support, and we hope that this will be the start of a long partnership with Great Eastern as we work together with organizations like you to nurture this city in nature. Thank you all, and thank you, Ms. Sim Ann, for gracing this occasion. Thank you for your support. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Professor Leo Tan. As Mr. KHOR has shared earlier, in the coming year, Great Eastern is partnering with Zero Waste Singapore to promote environmental awareness amongst our youths. Here to tell us more about Zero Waste and the collaboration coming up is Ms. Christine AMOUR-LEVAR, Vice Chair of Zero Waste Singapore, to address us. Ms. Christine, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ms. Sim Ann, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of National Development and Foreign Affairs. Mr. Tan Tok Weng, Assistant CEO, Park Management and Lifestyle Cluster National Park Board. Professor Leo Tan, Chairman Garden City Fund. Mr. KHOR Hock Seng, Group CEO, Great Eastern. Mr. Patrick Peck, Managing Director, Regional Agency, Finance Advisor, and Bank Assurance. Ms. Jesslyn Tan, CEO, Great Eastern Financial Advisors. Friends of Great Eastern, a very, very warm afternoon, and thank you for having me. It is such an honor to be here today to celebrate Great Eastern's renewed and strengthened commitment to sustainability. Zero Waste SG is a charity leading the drive towards zero waste in Singapore through education and advocacy. And one of the key ways we do this is through encouraging environmentally sustainable mindsets among our community, corporates, and of course in our schools. We are therefore delighted to have Great Eastern's support of our outreach efforts, especially towards the youth, where good habits can be nurtured early. Great Eastern's donation will enable us to continue our sustainable program, which has its successful inaugural run this year. In these programs, student teams from secondary schools will be mentored through the conceptualization and implementation of environmental projects in their schools in a year-long immersive journey. In 2022, we will be expanding the program from a competition-style format to include holding more awareness activities for the whole school. More student teams will also be invited to participate in the program. In this way, we hope to be able to spread the message of environmental sustainability and galvanize our youth to take positive action and apply what they have learned beyond the classrooms and spread it to their family, friends, and to the larger community. We at Zero Waste SG are looking forward to this wonderful new partnership with Great Eastern, wishing all the very best to Great Eastern as they continue its good work in this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Christine. As you all know, we will be planting some 30 native trees outside the Great Eastern Centre to add to the National Park Board's 1 Million Trees movement through its Plant a Tree program. First, we want to say that we are so proud to have raised a total of $328,744 from generous contributions from our staff and financial representatives, and are happy to present our check donation to Garden City Fund. At the same time, we are also contributing $120,000 to Zero Waste Singapore to support the education of our youth through their Sustainable Schools program in the coming year. The two check presentations will be witnessed by our guest of honor, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of National Development and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Sim Ann. May I now invite Ms. Sim Ann to take your place. May I now invite Mr. KHOR and Professor Liu Tan up on stage for a photograph with the check presented to Garden City Fund. We also have a photographer from Straits Times who will be taking photographs to mark this memorable event. These donations made to Garden City Fund were used to plant the trees and keep Singapore a green city. Thank you, and may I have Ms. Sim Ann and Mr. KHOR to remain on stage for the next check presentation, please. Thank you, Professor Liu. You may be seated. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Christine AMOUR-LEVAR up on stage for a photograph with the check donation of $120,000 presented to Zero Waste Singapore. Ms. Christine, please. This $120,000 will be used to support the education of our youth through their Sustainable Schools program in the coming year. Thank you, and please remain on stage as we will now proceed with a bigger group photo taking session of up to 8 packs to commemorate this occasion. Miss Christine, can you kindly stand up? Oh, we got one more photograph section. Yeah, correct. also invite Mr. Tang Tak Wing, Mr. Patrick Peck, Mr. Colin Chan, and Ms. Jesslyn Tan to join us on stage, please. Leaders, you may now be seated. May Ms. Sim Ann and Mr. KHOR remain on stage as we invite the top 14 contributors to the Garden City Fund from Great Eastern Financial Advisors for a group photo-taking session with Ms. Sim and Mr. KHOR. We will start with the first group and followed by the other two groups for the photo-taking. Let's invite the first group up on stage. Jason Tien, Sui Wing Hon, David Yang, Ye Kai, Fabian Chan, and Gladys Ng. You may now be seated. Let's invite the second group up on stage. Chanel Teo, Ivan Chi, Desmond Ng, Xavier Ang, and Tang Ding Yang. Thank you, leaders. You may now be seated. Let's invite the last group up on stage. Tenzin Kwek, Go Chan Ju, Thank you, Ms. Simen and Mr. KHOR and leaders. You may now be seated. Thank you all for gracing this event and taking time to be here to join us today. We will now end this event with our much-awaited tree planting program. We will be planting 2 tree species today, the red mempat, which is an endangered and native terrestrial tree, as well as the sea tristania, another terrestrial tree that is native to Singapore, Peninsular Malaysia, and Indonesia. We would like to invite Ms. Siman, Senior Minister of State, Mr. KHOR Hock Seng, Professor Liu Tan, Mr. Tang Tak Wing, Mr. Patrick Peck, Mr. Colin Chan, Ms. Jesslyn Tan, Mr. Go Chan Ju, and Mr. Tenzin Kwek to proceed to the tree planting site. Yes, Miss Christine as well. May I also invite the leaders who will engage in the fourth session, Ivan Chi, Xavier Ang, Ye Kai, Soi Wei Hon, Jason Tien, Fabian Chan to follow our NParks ushers out to your tree planting zones. Thank you and stay safe, everyone. I'll now pass my time on to Jay, who will bring you through the tree planting event. On to you, Jay. How is it out there?
All right, I think you're right on time, Natalie, because, you know, we were having really nice weather, but it's starting to get a little bit windy. So I think we're actually right on time. So originally, I think the plan was actually from the heavens to have like thunderstorm today. But we managed to escape it for the first half, and it seems like we are barely being held. Well, it's probably gonna start raining a little bit, so I think we're really right on time. Okay, so we're gonna be starting our tree planting ceremony. We're really blessed to have been joined by our VVIPs, our group CEO, Mr. KHOR, and also our Senior Minister of State, Ms. Sim Ann. Alright, so I think we're really blessed that because the gods know that we're going to be having some VVIPs today, so they've kept the weather fine for now, and here we go. We're going to be doing our tree planting. So it's mainly going to be quite a ceremonial. They're going to be putting on some soil, all right, onto the trees that have been demarcated for them, and then they will also be watering the plant. Okay, so for those of you who have joined us today, shall we hear it? Let's make some noise. Alright, not every day that we get to see a tree planting ceremony. Alright, beautiful. So originally the plan was actually to plant 1,130 trees, okay, to signify, 10 years anniversary of GFA and the 113th anniversary of Great Eastern. Okay, so we're going to be starting the tree planting. Okay, we're just going to get some more guests. Okay, we're going to have some more people joining in a very short while. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really glad to see all of you over here joining us on this very special occasion. It's not always that we see a tree planting ceremony. So as I was saying earlier, it was supposed to be 1,130 trees, but we managed to get enough donations for 1,429 trees. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we have more people joining us. Okay, welcome. They're going to be joining in for the tree planting. Okay, so we're just going to sort it out a little bit. We just need a little bit of space between everyone, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to give the cue very soon, Okay, ready? Everyone ready? So we're going to start. 1, 2, 3, let's go! Huara! IG Huara! All right! Beautiful job, everyone. So it's ceremonial, so we're going to be shoveling some soil on, and then we're also going to be watering the plants. All right, it's great to see everyone joining, even our VVIPs who are getting their hands down and dirty. They're putting in the soil, they're putting in the work, and doing the physical labor. All right, it's great to see even our VVIPs join in this ceremony. Let's give them another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Not always that we see, Isn't it? Well done. Wow, we are being blessed by the heavens as well. It's not just... So we're going to be watering the plants, and heaven joins us in watering the plants as well. Okay, looks like just in time, beautiful. So this was made possible by everyone's support over here at Great Eastern. Thank you so much. We're planting 1,429 trees. Now the initial plan was 1,130, but thanks to the support, we managed to do it. And of course, we're really lucky today because we managed to get it in right on time. Just when the drizzle is starting, we managed to get it done. Okay, we're going to just do a quick photo, I'm guessing. Careful. Alright, so we are done with this session. Okay, we'll be right back for session 5. Stay tuned. Alright, once again, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We are commencing session 5. So we have our planters already, Mr. Tang, our assistant CEO of M Parks, along with Orion's director, Mr. Go Chanju, already getting the ball rolling, shoveling on some soil and watering it. And we are really lucky today because we were worried about the thunderstorms that were originally forecasted. We had good weather for a while. A little bit of good weather, still just nice to do our planting today. So it's been a really great day today. So as you can see, for those of you who are just joining us, we're actually planting 30 trees today. The last day on the second, the first half, we actually did 20 plantings. Okay, so now we are doing the final 10. So the final 10 are actually for the 6 top group contributors. We have the 2 top individuals and also 2 corporate trees to represent Great Eastern Line and advisors. So for those of you who are watching, if you don't know, we're also celebrating our GM's 10th anniversary. if you have actually made a donation, you can actually check out the trees that are along here. They're geotagged. Your name might be on one of these. Okay, so on top of that, we are also going to be planting trees at the rail corridor. We're going to be also planting trees at East Coast. Okay, so now why do we plant the trees? It's our social responsibility. We want to make sure that our future generations have some shade. Of course, for those All right, so I think we've come to the final part. We're going to be doing a closing. How's things looking for you, Natalie?
Hi Jay, hi. It's such a joyous and memorable occasion. I'm so excited to watch the trees grow for the next, days, weeks, months, years.
Of course, and we've been really lucky to be able to coordinate this effort. I just want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, have a great year end ahead. Over to you, Natalie.
Thanks so much, Jay. All right. I think we've come to the end of the event. I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you virtual watchers at home. Thank you so much for all your support. And yeah, that's it for now. We'll see you. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.